Welcome to Brainiac, the science show that comes home at 4 in the morning, smelling of whiskey and covered in lipstick. The big science on Brainiac tonight. Which is faster, my bike, a golf ball, or a firework? Jon Tickle plays around with X-ray specs and reveals all. We prove that vacuum cleaning really does suck. Brainiacs go out and get smashed as we check out hangover cures, and the Brainiac babes will be blowing things up on Explosive of the Week. But first, some truly shocking television. Take one very large deserted warehouse. Introduce some low-amp 9-volt electrical equipment, one Brainiac, and you have yourself an experiment. The current that these electrode pads will carry produce electrical impulses that will stimulate specific muscle groups. This week, we're going to see if it's possible to seduce a beautiful woman with some smooth, slow dancing whilst being electrocuted.
I'm terribly sorry. 2 left feet.
Normally, your brain sends an electrical impulse to your muscles telling them when to move, which is important for things that require coordination, like dancing. With this experiment, though, we're providing the muscles with electrical impulses overriding our subject's brain. The dance style is supposed to be slow and romantic, but the muscle contractions make our Brainiac look like a bad breakdancer from the 1980s. Slow dancing. One more thing you can't do whilst being electrocuted.
Here's one for you. If you could dig a tunnel straight through the earth, would you come out feet first?
There are times on Brainiac when we try and answer the really big questions of life. We set up elaborate experiments to try and unlock the big mysteries that beset mankind. This is not such a time, because today I'm going firework racing. This is a rocket. I got it from a very big box of fireworks. This is my bike. Top speed, 190 miles an hour. And over here, this is golfing Brainiac. He likes to hit golf balls all day, every day. And here is his golf ball. Now, I'm standing on the start line, and over there is the finish line. All three of us will be leaving this line at the same time. The question is, which one of us will cross that one first? The golfer. The ball weighs 45 grams. The bat has a graphite shaft and a titanium head. His longest hit is 228 yards, but that was downhill and off a small cliff. His biggest challenge will be to keep the ball in a straight line. He may well knock me off my bike. The rocket. Maximum height travelled 250 foot, all usually upwards. Today, though, it's going to travel along this fishing wire to keep it on the straight and narrow. Me, usually 30 miles an hour residential, up to 70 on the motorway, but today I'm going for it, because I don't want to arrive behind a jumped-up banger and a pimpled ball. Right, the deal is that I get a 50-yard run-up. Then, on my approach, the golfer takes his backswing, then when I cross the line, he hits the ball and they fire the rocket off. That way, we all get to cross the start line at the same time. We're off. Place your bets then for the big race. Here we go. And there it is. At 190 miles an hour-ish, I win by the smallest of margins. I'm pretty sure I nicked it. We all got a solid start, all set off at exactly the same time. At nearly top speed, I held the lead at halfway, but the rocket was accelerating and gaining on me. And at the end... well, the high-speed camera there tells the story, and I was wrong. It's the rocket that won it by a nose. Final official timings, the Firework, 6.16 seconds. Me and the bike, a fraction later at 6.18 seconds. And the golf ball, well, the clock's still running on that one. Far from hitting me, he couldn't hit a barn door.
Anybody see where that went? Anybody?
So there you go. Remember, if you're late for work, keep the bike at home, just shove a rocket up your arse.
Hi, I'm Neil Hamilton and you're watching Brainiac.
Thank you very much. Now, we all like a pint. Nothing wrong with that. In moderation, the odd evening's gentle drinking is probably quite good for us. But what if, say, by accident, one Saturday night, we have 5 or 6 pints too many? What can you do about it the morning after?
This may look like a bit of a kneeser, but it's not. It is, in fact, a controlled scientific experiment. These Brainiacs are undergoing a rigorous night's drinking so that we can uncover the answer to one of life's most long-standing questions. Which is the best hangover cure? So, of course, first, they've got to work on their hangovers.
Our Brainiacs worked pretty hard in the name of science to complete the first stage of the experiment. They all got completely hammered. Last night's drinking finished at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's now 6:30 a.m. So when they do eventually wake up, there should be some pretty good hangovers. Well, I say eventually. Actually, I mean now.
Good morning, Brainiac. Good morning. Let's hurry up. Time to wake up, please. Come on. Morning. Good morning, Brainiac. It's time to get up. Bring your hangover downstairs. Come on. Time to get up. Good morning, Brainiac. Good morning, Brainiac. Time to get up. Time to get up. Oh, Brainiacs, please. It's time to get up. Brainiac, time to wake up. Good morning. Good morning, Brainiacs.
Yeah. Good morning, hungover Brainiacs. Right, if you'd like to make your way down to the end of the room there, divide yourselves, oh dear, into 3 groups of 3 on these tables, if you can. That's pathetic. 3, 3, 3. OK, on each table in front of you, you'll find a notepad and pen. What I want you to do is score your hangover, 1 to 10, in 3 categories. Dryness of the mouth, gut rot, and the headache. Is it, you know, shrieking agony or a dull throb? Go on, then. Do it. Dehydration is the major cause of a hangover. As you drink alcohol, your body is actually losing fluids because it needs more water than usual to process the toxins you've shoved down your neck. Alcohol is also a diuretic. All that weeing gets you even drier. The next morning, the dehydration causes dryness of the mouth and shrinkage of brain cells, the famous morning after head throb. Gut rot also kicks in as you've peed away all those vitamins and minerals your body needs. Lack of quality sleep and remembering all those embarrassing things you did the night before don't help either. OK, so now we try the various cures. First of all, for this lot, I've got a selection of the kind of stuff you can get from your chemist. We've got a vitamin tablet, paracetamol, a couple of those there, and we've got a sports drink. One of those each, please. Then for this second group, we've got a more traditional remedy and probably a more enjoyable one, the good old full English breakfast. So we've got loads of grease, bacon, sausages, black pudding, mushroom, eggs. See how they get on with that. And finally, for this lot, I'll just go and get it over here, the good old hair of the dog. So, who was on wine last night?
I was the wine.
That's you. Right. Who was beer?
And here was G&T, that was yours. Good. Now, I don't want you just to neck this, OK? I want you just to drink a bit, and see how it makes you feel. All right, well, if everybody's ready, Brainiacs, please begin your cures.
Pills and potions are what people usually reach for the morning after. Painkillers for the headache and isotonic drinks to replace missing vitamins and minerals. Obvious cures, but boy, how well will they do? And what about a traditional English breakfast? Eating food will boost your metabolism, increasing the speed you can process that alcohol. Eggs are particularly good, containing amino acids which help mop up the poisonous chemicals. But too much grease will surely not help that gut rot. The science to support the hair of the dog theory is a little thin, but scientists have come up with one idea. Alcohol consists of ethanol, which the body deals with fairly easily, and methanol, which is harder to process. By the morning, your body has already dealt with the easy stuff and is now onto the tricky methanol. If you drink more alcohol, your liver just goes back to tackling the easy stuff again, making you feel so much better. Until later.
Going down nicely now.
Of course, it might just be that you feel better going back to what you know best, boozing. We'll leave all that medicine to go down and see how they feel shortly. This object has been magnified 60 times. If it's not a girl you take home after a Friday night clubbing, it'll probably be one of these. What do you think it is? We'll tell you in a few moments.
This is Brainiac, the science show that tells its girlfriend not to wait up.
Also, coming up, we do more bad things with a microwave oven. And Tina Turner and her Bunsen burner are back with another big bang. But first, Earlier, we showed you this. It's been magnified 60 times. You may have woken up on a Saturday morning with a sore head to find some of this on your best clobber. It's kebab meat, but it doesn't look quite as good in the cold light of day.
Stop! The following experiment is dangerous for your safety and the protection of those around you. Do not try this at home. No, really, don't.
This is an egg from a chicken, the kind you can buy in supermarkets all over the country. It is, at the moment, uncooked. Microwaved eggs can reach temperatures much higher than if they were simply boiled in water. As it spends time cooped up in the microwave oven, the inside of the egg cooks and expands, eventually forcing the shell apart. Now, it's not, as you can see, the shell that explodes, but the albumin, or egg white. We do these experiments so you don't have to. Do not try this at home.
We've all wanted to have X-ray vision like Superman, or X-ray specs like James Bond. And why? Is it so that we can find hidden treasure on the beach? Is it so that we can find lost 2p pieces down the backs of sofas? No, here's why. Anyone who's ever broken a limb or swallowed a metal object they shouldn't have knows that X-ray vision does exist. Take Charlie here. If I had X-ray vision, she'd look something like this. That's because the bone and soft tissue in our body absorb X-rays at different rates. Therefore, if we put a photographic plate behind Charlie when we X-ray her, we can quite easily see where all the bones are. Now, we on Brainiac have endeavoured to find out whether X-ray vision is actually possible. And by that I mean, is it possible to see through people's clothes using science and technology? I really hope it is. Well, well, don't you three look super? The Brainiacs have been hard at it trying to work out how to see through clothing. They've come up with a theory that says if you use the infrared function on some video cameras, clothing becomes transparent. Now, one of these three lovelies has a message hidden under her dress just for me. I'm going to see whether I can find it. Now then. Right. Nothing obvious there. Or over there. So I guess I'd better try round the back. Right. Oh, hang on. I think I can see a G-string. Right, let's investigate further. And yes, there's definitely something there. It says, get lost. Right, well, thanks very much. I guess I've been told. Brainiac. At some film premieres and gala openings, certain paparazzi photographers have worked out that clothing becomes transparent under flashlight photography. Now, we don't have a paparazzi photographer or a fancy gala opening, but we do have a load of Brainiacs with disposable cameras. Take it away, guys. Most clothing is impervious to light under normal conditions, but under the extreme intensity of flash photography, light passes through the garment, illuminating and reflecting off the white underwear. As the flash lasts for only 1/1000th of a second, the human eye doesn't get to see it. Until, that is, the pictures are processed. And there we have it. Under certain circumstances, you can have X-ray vision.
Brainiac's got a new motor, a fresh set of wheels. Comes with all the mod cons, tyres, engine, even windscreen wipers. One lady driver, guaranteed a great runner. But suddenly it doesn't look quite so good when it's put next to a sporty convertible. Only one answer to this, some instant mechanical surgery, courtesy of a diamond-bladed angle grinder. Like a hot knife through butter, it's perfect for removing wheel clamps or surplus to requirements car rooms. At 6,000 revolutions a minute, and with the power to cut through solid steel, it makes short work of the job in hand. Job done. But not quite. We'll still need a helping hand to get the top off. 100 tons of lifting power should do it. Power on, pull up, roof off. Looking good. And now it's perfect for some hot summer cruising down at the beach. Turning your car into a convertible, the lazy man's way.
Bored of all your toys? Don't worry, make your own fun. How about some slime? A bit of corn flour, bit of water, bit of colouring, mix it up. Yikes! Bob's your uncle. Slime. Hours of fun for all the family. It turns into a ball, which turns into a liquid. Cool!
Tina Turner loves her science. Though she has, of course, now become an international singing star, she's never forgotten those school days she spent in the lab down in Nutbush. Whenever she gets a break from her busy schedule, she likes to get out her bunsen burner and blow something up. Once she arrives at location, our superstar's powerful legs carry her across the loose gravel. Tina uses her ample brain to decide which car to explode. This time, it's the hatchback, because she hates family cars. And today, Tina has plumped for a big stick of TNT, a high-velocity explosive which combusts at great speed. Our star is in a bit of a hurry today. She knows that a concert stadium full of adoring fans is awaiting her arrival. so she has to move fast if she's going to get this big bang done before her stage appearance. She puts her chosen explosive in position and departs the scene with equal speed, keen to remove herself from the area of detonation. Tina has a very cunning plan today. She's going to use a remote-controlled car to carry the detonator to the explosive. And the detonating device? It's a sparkler she saved from last year's fireworks night. An adoring Brainiac hands Tina her treasured gold-plated Bunsen burner.
Bunsen burner, Mr. Tickle.
Sparkler lit, all she has to do now is guide it to its target. Working with the practiced skill of a keen amateur scientist, Tina's nimble fingers send the little toy remote control car to the big white bomb-primed one. One slip of the finger would mean disappointment all round, but Tina has never failed to deliver yet, as the toy car unerringly finds its target. Job done, Tina gives vent to her theme tune. Tina Turner, simply the best at science. Now back to our boozing Brainiacs. This lot all got well and truly hammered, and all in the name of science. The next morning they're all suffering the consequences with the mother of all hangovers. They've taken 3 cures to try and feel better. The question now is, which has worked best?
OK, it's now been 2 hours since the Brainiacs took their hangover cures. And remember, we have the chemist group, here the fry-up group, and here the hair of the dog group. Since they took their cures, we've told them to just lounge around, relax, put their feet up and take it easy. No physical exercise allowed. Though, to be honest, I don't really think it was ever on the cards for most of them. OK, listen up. It's time to find out how you're feeling now, having taken your cures, all right? So, you'll find in front of you a pad and pen, just as there was before, and it's the same routine. I want you to score yourselves how you feel. Dryness of the mouth, gut rot, and for your headache. So if you'd like to do that, please, kind of now.
Of course, people do swear by other hangover cures. A cold shower, vomiting before bedtime, eating burnt toast, or, less popularly, not necking a shed load of alcohol in the first place.
The mouth is still very dry. I definitely feel more lively. Yep. Oh, yes.
I just feel sick. Gut rot. About the same, really. Dryness, Matt. Is that any better now? Look.
Barely.
But how did our various remedies fare in this test?
I think it's a laxative as well. Go 7, haven't
Yeah, put a 7.
And the fried bread rehydrates me.
Yeah.
Time for the result.
OK, Brainiacs, if you've finished your scoring, everybody finished, good, it's time to conclude this experiment. I'd like to take your pads off you, fried breakfast group, thank you. Hair of the dog, and over here, the medicine group. Right, you all scored yourselves for how rough you felt before you took the cure. You scored yourselves again afterwards. Obviously, the lower the score, the better you're feeling. So, medicines group first. Before you took your medicine, you scored yourself at 22. You felt pretty bad. After your medicine, 17. So that's not bad, that is quite an improvement, that's good. Hair of the dog group here, now before you took your cure, 20. Feeling poorly, OK? Afterwards, 18. It's not brilliant, really. Hair of the dog, not desperately good then. And finally over here, the fried breakfast group. Before your breakfast, 20. Feeling poorly. After your breakfast, 10. 10. That's a really big improvement, which means it's now official. We can announce that the world's best hangover cure, scientifically proven, is the fried breakfast.
Things Jon Tickle's body can't do.
Come in. Hello, Mr. Tickle. Would you stand over there, please? Now, Mr. Tickle, I'd like you to close your eyes and hold out your hand. Now, I would like you to tell me if this is hot or cold?
When a very hot or cold stimulus is applied to the skin, the brain at first only registers that there is an extreme temperature.
That's hot.
No, Mr. Tickle, I'm afraid it's not.
If you can't see the cause, it takes a while for the brain to work it out. One more thing Jon Tickle's body can't do. Every day in the Brainiac lab, our email inbox is flooded with suggestions for experiments from the great British public. The mad, the bad, and the downright stupid. Our dedicated research team go through each and every one of these suggestions and thoroughly assess them for their scientific value. Just a very few ideas actually go forward for testing. And if your idea is picked, be sure the Brainiac team will track you down.
I can do science, me.
If you're lucky enough to be selected, then you too could be picked up in style by the Brainiac team and chauffeur-driven to our top-secret, state-of-the-art research laboratory. For all of you wannabe scientists out there, it's your chance to get really scientific. Get your thinking caps on and your ideas into us. Who knows, we might just pick you. It's I Can Do Science, Me, with Charlotte Hudson.
Today, it's Steve Clark. Dear Brainiac, I've heard that eggshells are actually really strong and that you can stand on one without it breaking if you do it the right way. I want to do that. Well, Steve, you can.
Eggshells are designed to be fragile, designed so that baby beaks can easily peck their way out. End-to-end, eggs are at their strongest, where the shape is as important as the material. In architecture, a domed roof is the strongest of designs, as it can hold the weight evenly, so that no single point supports the whole load. Stand on an egg right at the top, and it can also support a huge weight.
No.
Well, in theory.
Well, a lot of eggs have been broken today in the name of science. A lot of baby chicks now will never be born, all because he wanted an answer to his very important question. I hope he's happy. Shaping up now for one more go with the egg shoes.
A dozen shells under each foot, they share the load equally. And if he's lowered straight onto the ends, he's also lowered onto their toughest part. Standing on eggs, an egg walk on egg shoes. He's cracked it.
His name is Steve Clark. He wanted to know if you could walk on eggs without breaking them. The answer, yes.
Thank you. I can do science, me.
Big John is 7'3" and Little John is 3'11". This is Tall v Small, where we ask the question, which is it better to be? Previously, we established that it was better to be big when trying to negotiate your way down the busiest street in the world, London's Oxford Street. The larger stride and unobscured line of sight gave our big guy the advantage. Today, we're finding out if it's better to be taller or smaller when taking part in a step aerobics class.
Up and down, here we go. Up, up, down.
Step aerobics not only requires good cardio fitness, it also requires good coordination.
Get the arms going as well.
Generally speaking, tall people have a reputation for being clumsy and uncoordinated, mainly because their limbs have to travel greater distances and at more speed to stay in time.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Being 3'11", however, means the length of your inside leg limits the height you can lift your feet, and therefore the distance you can step up.
Okay, Little John, let's give you a helping hand.
The beauty of step aerobics is that the steps are adjustable.
We don't need that. There you go. Right, okay, Little John, ready? Stretch, step, fly, stretch.
To the untrained eye, it might look like they're both doing well, but in fact, Big John is stepping off with the wrong foot.
Woo! Let's go, let's go!
A lack of oxygen in your body can cause a loss of orientation, and the higher you go, the thinner the air. Think climbing Mount Everest. However, CO2 is heavier than the air we breathe, so being lower to the ground could also deprive you of the much-needed oxygen. Whatever the excuse, both our guys are struggling.
3 more! 2 more! Little John, you're not joining us. Just up and down.
Ultimately, though, it's the gym instructor who makes the decision about whether or not you're better off being taller or smaller in a step aerobics class.
Big John, excellent job, Little John. Come on over. Fantastic. You did a great job, both of you. And I think we have a definite winner, and the winner is Big John!
Next time, we find out if it's better to be taller or smaller when playing hide and seek.
Coming ready or not?
Which fruit floats? Featuring Professor Mayang Lee and her big basket of fruit. Today, she's got her hands on a nice, firm banana. So, what's your guess? Will it sink or will it float? We'll give you a few moments to argue about it and give you the answer in just a moment.
This is Brainiac, the science show that farts in the jacuzzi of human knowledge.
Also to come, tally-ho, it's time for some toffs to take on our black box. And can CO2 stop rock and roll? But first, earlier in the show, Professor Mayang Lee posed the question, does her nice big banana sink or float? Yes, bananas float.
Brainiac Joe here has a theory, all of his very own. He believes that if you tap the top of a can of fizzy drink after it's been shaken, that'll stop it spraying the contents all over the place. Well, frankly, we're a bit sick and bored of Joe and his theory, so we've devised a cunning little experiment to put his theory to the test. This is simple but effective. We're giving this can a really, really thoroughly good shake. Then we're going to give it to Joe here. He's going to tap the top, according to his theory, and open it in his face. There you go.
Go on, Joe.
Here we go. Come on, Joe, test your theory.
Shaking fizzy drink creates millions of little bubbles. Does tapping the top make them disappear? Where would they go? So, if you're one of those people who does tap the top of their fizzy drink, like Brainiac Joe, you now know not to bother.
Excellent. There you go, Joe. Hope that set your mind at rest once and for all. Your theory is rubbish. Now you can stop going on about it.
1, 2, 3, bring it back.
Here's one for you. Would the ocean be any deeper if it didn't contain any sponges?
Here on Brainiac, we've got our hands on something a bit special, flown in from the USA just for us. It can withstand 20,000 feet of pressure underwater. It has an astonishing fire resistance of 1100 degrees centigrade. It has a staggering impact tolerance of 3,400 Gs. We're not supposed to have it, but we have. It's a black box flight recorder, the strongest box ever made, and it's yellow. So, can anyone destroy it? Our first contenders used 100 single-shot muskets and had little effect. So they called in the big guns. Incredibly, it survived a direct hit from a 12-pound cannon. And then, borrowing a technique pioneered in the Vietnam War, we blew it up with napalm. But the damage, merely cosmetic. This week, we're giving it both barrels, as the landed gentry have a crack at it. These shotguns fire hundreds of lead shot from plastic cartridges at 1,250 feet per second. That's 850 miles an hour. They make short work of clay pigeons But what damage can they do to our box? This man is one of the best shots in Britain, Nick Foster, an Olympic silver medalist who seldom misses. And just in case he does, he's brought his friend Jon T. The 12 balls are loaded and the box is primed to go.
Oh.
Launched into range, the marksmen get it in their sights and let rip. They give it all they've got with both barrels and hit it repeatedly. But having once more taken a hammering from several direct hits, our black box has suffered only light scratches, leaving our toffs to return to eating quail's eggs and quaffing champagne, while Nick and Jon T leave with their tails between their legs. Next time, can it survive when our black box is lifted to a great height and dropped in a vat of burning acid? In 1983, Twisted Sister sang "You Can't Stop Rock and Roll," but we here at Brainiac know better. A fire extinguisher, aptly named because it puts out fires, but can it extinguish the ear-shattering sound of rock and roll? The carbon dioxide is stored in the cylinder as a compressed liquid at a pressure of around 56 bar. When the CO2 is released, it expands and cools the surrounding air, often to a point where it freezes. That's why it looks like it's been snowing. It's not the force of the blast that does the damage, but the unexpected cold snap. Can't stop rock and roll? You can with a fire extinguisher. This is a situation you may well find yourself in, should you be caught unawares by global warming. If it does happen to you, then this experiment is designed to show you which office products you should and should not grab in such an emergency. We've already established some should grabs. They are a waste paper basket turned upside down and the cork notice board. Both had sufficient buoyancy to keep our Office Junior afloat. The same, however, cannot be said for the PC monitor or the cardboard storage boxes. So, when the high water level alarm sounds, our Brainiac will grab one item. Which will it be?
So I couldn't get it to you in time. No, my computer kept crashing. I've got to go. Right.
Well, this is a superb choice. If you were working in an office full of people and survival was foremost on your mind, this would be the obvious one. The empty water bottle is providing an enormous amount of buoyancy, and you can quite clearly see our Brainiac's head there, well and truly above water. The water bottle, also an office buoyancy aid. Brainiacs, love them. They vibrate, they suck, and they do the cleaning. Vacuum cleaners, probably one of the 20th century's greatest inventions, and I'm sure they're very good at doing all the jobs and stuff they're supposed to do. But we at Brainiac are less interested in the household chores these can achieve, and more interested in questions like, how many of these things would you need to pick someone up? First things first, to see what kind of suck we can get out of these things. The Brainiac Research and Development Department spent many hours investigating airflow and powers of adhesion. The conclusion, lifting a Brainiac should indeed be possible, with the right machines in the right hands. Not these. So the next stage, to get these babies into the hands of some experts. Bournemouth, a busy hotel. 4 well-worn vacuum cleaners. 4 well-worn cleaning ladies. Their usual stomping ground is the vast corridors and rooms that make up their place of work. But what kind of suck can these ladies generate with the tools of their trade? Only one way to find out.
OK, ladies, we're going to attempt to lift our Brainiac here with your 4 vacuum cleaners. So if Brainiac, you'd like to lie down on the floor. And ladies, if you get your machines charged up and ready for action. Excellent. OK, we're going to start with this arm. Try and find a bit on the arm. And 3, 2, 1, suck. And lift.
Initial tests proved promising. An arm weighs about 15 pounds, and they can do it easily.
Fantastic. Very good. Now we're going to go for the head. So if you can have 2 people on the cheeks, 1 on the forehead,
and then 1 sucking the hair. And 3, 2, 1, suck.
The head weighs about 10 pounds, so no problem there.
Keep lifting. Keep lifting. Fantastic. Excellent. OK, great. Let's see if we can do something a little bit harder. We'll go for his left leg and get in there and get a really good tight suction point. 3, 2, 1, suck.
A leg weighs in at 25 to 30 pounds. A little too much for these 4 machines.
Not happening. OK, I don't think we're going to win that one. OK, well, thank you very much, ladies.
The trick, then, to get the right size Brainiac and the right number of cleaners. She'll do. Brainiac Moira, 8 stone, 4 foot 11. 25 brand new, fresh out of the box vacuum cleaners. Positioning is vital to allow each machine good access to a good portion of the available body. 30,000 watts of power. 100 meters of tubing. Juiced up on full suck, ready to apply.
Lie down.
We know that every machine can lift 16 pounds, so the numbers should add up. They should be able to do it with some to spare. But they would all have to get a tight grip, all pull their weight, all pick up together. It needs an even spread of the nozzles and no wasted suction. Each machine must do its bit to get the full effect. All together now. She's up and floating, clear of the ground. She's gripped and hovers. Answer, it takes 25 vacuum cleaners to pick up a Brainiac, a small one. So now you know. Explosive of the week. We're down at Big Bang Farm. Our Brainiac babes are washing their car. They're going to pick an explosive, blow something to smithereens, and then give it marks out of 10. The girls have opted for plastic explosive, a mouldable sausage of high-velocity bomb material, often used by the armed forces. And today, our girls are going to make an explosive mess of their old fridge. 3 of their friends will judge the explosion, giving it marks out of 10. But before we get down to the fun part, the girls must do some serious preparation. And when it comes to big bangs, this lot are true pros. Plastic explosive is particularly effective against hard materials such as steel. When it's fired, a compression wave is sent through the target and then bouncing back, it tears the object apart. So it looks like goodbye to the girls' stash of beer. Wired up and ready. Let's do it then.
3, 2, 1.
The girls delighted as always, but what about the judges? Well, Beryl liked it, a very positive 8 from her. Mavis, not so sure, a middle-of-the-road 5. And Hilda tends to agree, a 6. She never did like that fridge. Well done, girls. You can take the rest of the day off.